All right, welcome back to the world of secrets, stardust, and emotionally unavailable magical men. Yes, it's time for Finale by Stephanie Garber, the last roller coaster ride in the Caraval trilogy. Now, if you're new here, first, bold choice jumping in at book 3, but here's the lightning fast recap. In Caraval, we met sisters Scarlet and Donatella, who got swept into a magical game that blurred reality with illusion. In Legendary, Donatella went full detective mode to uncover the identity of Legend, the mysterious master behind the game. And surprise, he's also Dante, a handsome disaster of a man who makes you question your life choices every time he smirks. Also, the Immortal Fates. Yeah, they've been released from a cursed deck of cards and are about to ruin everyone's day. Finale picks up right where we left off. Legend is about to become Emperor of the Meridian Empire. Tella's still pretending she doesn't have feelings for him. Spoiler, she does. Scarlet's trying to have a normal love life despite literally everything. And the Fates, they're creeping in like that one weird uncle who shows up uninvited and never leaves. The big question isn't just can they stop the Fates? It's, can you love someone who might not be entirely real? Oh, and what do you do when your maybe boyfriend is casually drinking blood from a witch who made him? Yeah, this story gets wild. Tella's love life? Oh, it's thriving. If by thriving you mean hauntingly romantic nightmares with a man who might not have a soul. Ever since the events of Legendary, Tella has been playing host to a recurring guest in her dreams, none other than Legend himself. And when he shows up, he's not just bringing emotional baggage, he's bringing style. We're talking red tailcoats, glittering eyes, and fireworks in the sky. Literally. The man knows how to set a mood. But despite the swoony visuals, Tella isn't here for it. Not anymore. Legend saved her life, then ghosted her harder than a hinge date with commitment issues. So now, whenever he shows up in her dreams asking the same question, do you want the prize for winning Caraval? Tella answers with all the warmth of a frostbitten cactus. She wants more than pretty illusions and empty flirtation. She wants answers. Real ones like, does he still care about her? Is he Dante, the boy she fell for? Or just Legend, the master of masks and manipulation? And let's not ignore the tension. The dreams feel real. Sometimes romantic, sometimes theatrical, sometimes like a therapy session with better lighting. But always, always under Legend's control. He sets the scene, he chooses the vibe. Tella picks the dress, but he never lets her get close enough to touch him. He doesn't even reach for her hand. Every night, it's the same, a little conversation, a lot of unsaid words, and a frustrating amount of longing. Legend always leaves before things get real, before Tella can break through his walls. And despite her best efforts to stay cold, she can't help but wonder, does he want her to keep chasing him? Or is she just another story in the legend of, well, Legend? So everything's going great in Tella's dream romance life thing with Legend until it isn't. One night, instead of the usual magical boat ride, dramatic coat twirling, and longing stares across a dreamscape made entirely of vibes, things get weird. We're talking creepy green flames. A piano player straight up collapsing like his Spotify playlist just got deleted. And worst of all, Tella wakes up with a dead butterfly in her hand. Super normal, totally chill. But that's not the worst part. The worst part? Legend doesn't show up at all the next night. And for Tella, that's code red emergency. Like, send in the emotional support Pegasus kind of emergency. Now, to be clear, she's not worried. She's just, mildly panicking while picking out a spy dress and breaking into the palace to stalk him. And what does she find? Legend, alive, looking far too good for someone who's been skipping her dreams. He's walking through a crowd like he owns the runway, which, fair. But he's not alone. He's got company. Enter the other woman, tall, red-haired, and dressed like a fashion-forward villain. Her whole vibe is don't trust her, but also I own 5 properties and emotionally unavailable men. And of course, she has matching black rose tattoos with Legend, because why wouldn't she? Legend is smiling at her, talking to her, touching her, which is hilarious, considering he's never even held Tella's hand in all their weird little dream dates. Tella watches from behind a pillar like someone who just saw their crush order a frappuccino with another girl at the coffee shop. She's freezing, heartbroken, and very much not okay. But the drama doesn't stop there. She follows them into a cursed-looking forest, to a cozy little cottage that just screams this place is either magical or someone's definitely getting sacrificed. And that's when Tella realizes this mystery woman isn't just a fling. She's Esmeralda, the legendary witch who gave Legend his powers, and Tella's about to find out just how far he's willing to go to keep them. So yeah, things are going great. So just to recap, Tella is outside in the cold, in a skirt made of feathers, hiding behind a bush, watching her maybe boyfriend flirt with a woman who looks like she eats lesser mortals for breakfast. Fun times. But she doesn't leave, because this isn't just jealousy, it's plot development. She sneaks up to the cottage window like every rom-com girl who sees her ex on a date and suddenly becomes a trained spy. What she sees inside? Oh, just Legend, on one knee, before Esmeralda, like it's some twisted version of the Bachelorette Immortal Blood Ritual Edition. Turns out Esmeralda isn't just any powerful witch. She's the powerful witch, the one who gave Legend his magic in the first place. Kind of like his fairy godmother, if fairy godmothers wore black silk and radiated chaos. Legend is begging her for help. His powers are fading ever since the fates were released. He says he wants to destroy them, but to do that, he needs more magic, Esmeralda's magic. And this is where things take a sharp left turn into, oh no, he didn't. Because instead of handing him a potion or, I don't know, a magical USB drive, Esmeralda offers up her wrist like, here, sip my blood, darling. In Legend, he goes for it. No hesitation. He straight up drinks from her like she's a very tasty Bloody Mary. Meanwhile, Tella's out in the cold, reevaluating her entire life. Because sure, she knew Legend had secrets. She knew he was a liar. But she did not have blood drinking deal with his creator witch ex-mentor on her bingo card. And it gets worse. Because after Legend drains Esmeralda's magic like a vampire with student debt, she's weak, like collapsing onto the rug weak. And she looks up at him and says, "Can you carry me upstairs?" And Legend, who just said no to emotional intimacy with Tella for 2 books straight, looks her in the eye and says, "No, sorry, bye." Then he slings her over his shoulder and walks off like he's carrying laundry. No emotion, no guilt, just another day at the betrayal office. Tella, frozen to the bone and feeling like her insides just got scooped out with a melon baller, stumbles away, not because she wants to, but because now, for the first time, she realizes Legend isn't the hero, he's not even the love interest, he might just be the villain, and she is so not emotionally prepared for that. While Tella is out spiraling over blood magic and romantic betrayal, Scarlet is dealing with a crisis of her own, trying to put on a dress that doesn't scream abandonment issues and emotional confusion, because today is the day she's supposed to finally meet her maybe fiancé, Count Nicholas, a real gentleman, a stable, normal human man, aka the total opposite of her last situationship, Julian, Legend's smirking, stab-happy brother who's been missing for, 5 weeks without so much as a hey, not dead. So yeah, she's nervous. Her dress is turning weird colors, which is never a good sign in this universe. And where's Tella? Not home. Still out chasing Mr. Emotional Crisis in the forest. Scarlet is not impressed, but just when she's about to give up on both romance and her sister, guess who shows up? Julian. Shiny hair, sad eyes, mysterious bandage, looking like he just came from a shampoo commercial, and 3 very bad decisions. Scarlet wants to stay mad. Really, she does. But the moment she sees him, her dress practically throws itself at him. And so do her feelings. They don't kiss, they don't fight, they just look at each other like two people who definitely want to do both. Meanwhile, back at the apartment, their mom, Paloma, is still magically knocked out like Sleeping Beauty, but with way more trauma. She's stuck in an enchanted sleep, and they've got no idea when or if she's going to wake up. But if and when she does, so will the rest of the fates. You know, the ancient, immortal beings currently scattered around the city, like ticking time bombs with fabulous outfits. So now the sisters are balancing one unconscious mom, one emotionally reckless immortal emperor, two chaotic love lives, and the very real possibility that the world might end before lunch. But hey, at least they're doing it together, mostly. So remember how the fates were locked away in a deck of magical playing cards for centuries? Well, thanks to legend and a series of very questionable decisions, they're back, all of them. Just out here, walking around the city like it's their grand return tour. And these aren't your garden variety bad guys. We're talking ancient, immortal, chaos-obsessed beings who treat humans like disposable napkins. The worst of the bunch, the fallen star, he's the original fate, the one who created the others. Think evil CEO, but with superpowers and a worse personality. Legend says he wants to stop them. He says he's trying to destroy the fallen star, but that's hard to believe when he's still out here drinking witch blood and lying like it's an Olympic sport. Meanwhile, Esmeralda, the witch from earlier, the one he drained like a magical juice box, lets slip a tiny little detail. If you kill the fallen star, all the fates he created will become mortal. Or, well, ageless but killable, which is a pretty big deal because it's the only way to stop them from coming back again and again like some cursed group chat that refuses to die. But the real jaw-drop moment, the fallen star and legend, they share the same weakness. You know what that means? It means Legend might not just be an immortal performer with really great hair and commitment issues. He might be a fate himself. Yep, the plot twist we were all hoping wouldn't happen. Tella hears all of this from outside the creepy blood cottage, where she's still crouching in the snow, eavesdropping on this therapy session from hell. And suddenly, everything clicks. The overpowered magic, the refusal to let people get close, the dramatic entrances, the fact that he literally cannot die, but still acts like he's constantly suffering. It's giving immortal sad boy with a god complex. And worst of all, if Legend is a fate, then everything Tella's felt, the chemistry, the tension, the maybe love, it might not be real. It might all be a performance, a trick, a role he's been playing since day one. But if that's true, why does he keep coming back? Why does he look at her like she's the only real thing in his dream world? And how do you fight a villain when you're still halfway in love with him? Well, let's just say Tella's been through a lot, and at this point, she's not even sure what's real anymore. The kisses, the conversations, the heartbreak. Was it all a performance? A well-rehearsed illusion from the greatest showman in the empire? But Tella knows better than anyone. Love is dangerous, especially when it's with someone who sees the world as a stage and people as props. So now she's stuck in the middle of the world's messiest love triangle. Her heart, the fate of the empire, and a maybe boyfriend who drinks blood, wears tailored suits, and might accidentally destroy the world if left unsupervised. No pressure. Tella's made sacrifices before. She's risked everything for the people she loves. But now the question is, can she walk away from Legend, or is she willing to burn with him? So how does it all end? With a war, a sacrifice, a tragic romantic goodbye? Well, kind of. The sisters survived the fate's fall, the fallen star is gone, and Legend? Well, he's being Legend. Tella writes him a letter. She thanks him for the magic, the heartbreak, and the chaos, and asks him very casually if he might like to kidnap her again sometime. Yeah, that's messed up. In the end, he doesn't take the crown. He takes her hand. So let's just say she chose chaos. He chose her. Honestly, same thing.